Well, part 2 of the rant and your email time. Remember, everyone out there, the emails. This, when it was Punters Show and now it's Racing Rant, it was the rant, of course. It was always based on feedback. You guys being involved with the show. So get on the thing, give it to us, to help us with ideas. You might want to help our punting, which I'd appreciate.
It's really easy because we've got obviously an email contact on the homepage of Racing Rant, but also we've got a Facebook page which is easy to comment on, and you can Twitter me at Just Ideal. So look, plenty of options to get your stuff headed this way. What do you got to say, Glenn?
What about the emails or about anything?
Well,
I haven't even got any stories this week. Nothing.
Yes, you have. Hang on. You got a story about yesterday. You want to give it? It's a very, very sweet story.
Yeah. Went to the footy. I was out there at Leichhardt Oval, right in the middle, 50-metre line, on the grass. Got there at 11. Sitting back.
Keen bean.
Yeah, we knew it'd be sold out. And my second son, he's a champ, Dean. He's an absolute beauty. 30th birthday. He was born on Father's Day 30 years ago. It's a nice day to spend with his son. He followed mad Canberra supporter. It doesn't really bed. Had 500 on the Raiders at $1.90, which is a good bet for a kid, I suppose. He's 30, I suppose. But he goes, Dad, they beat them last time 60-6. It's the same team. I said, yeah. He said, well, I took 50 points and over. It was 200 to 1 for $50 to win 10,000. I said, oh wow, that's a lot of money, Dean. He said, well, they did it last time. And he said, but I took 41 to 50 as well. 41 points and over to 50 at the 50s, and had $60 and had to win 3,000. They got up 52-10. The beauty of being just, that'll happen. You won 3,400 in the football. More than I own.
And they were an even money shot.
They were about $1.70 at jump time.
Oh, okay. So you got the good odds.
You got the good odds. But anyway, so wonderful day. You sound like it.
That's a sweet Father's Day story.
Was it? It was a very sweet Father's Day. A great birthday for him, and everyone was really happy. So it was great. It was nice to have a nice day, and didn't think about betting all day except his bets.
Yeah.
None of my bets.
Right, so the day before that was another Father's Day for Glenn and a mixed Melbourne Mail, because
we both did it pretty good.
Both of them flew. A mixed Melbourne Mail was just solid gold all day.
Outstanding. I'm sure the people that got it, and you got it for free, were impressed with the setup and the how easy to read it was, and how solid it was. We'd been looking at it for quite a few weeks, and as I said, I've known Michael a few years now and always thought he did really, really good work. So I hope you enjoy getting it for free. Obviously, he'd be on board for he's our possibly our one and only provider, because we really don't want to have a stack of providers. We don't want to slut ourselves off and sell shoelaces for Japanese shoes. So Melbourne Mick, Mark and I, Gord's goal. There it is.
Beauty. Well, Mangy tweeted back after I said that Glenstra had wet sailed the man of the match with unloading each way felines. He said the new stable must be agreeing with him. Never seen them better. #baseballs.
I can't believe I ever saw him like baseballs. What was I saying that day? How did I say that? Thanks, Mangy. Yeah, and I'm sure you won. Getting my stuff, all you people out there, you'll get the fittest horse in every race. We won't always win, but even when we don't win, you'll see how damn unlucky I live.
David Diamond, good friend of the show, emailed, "Hi Ranters, just wondering why the big punters like Dr. Nick and Fletch no longer punt on track. Is it the sign of the times? Would hate to see the day that no bookies are at the track. Thoughts, please. Once again, great info on Melbourne Mix Set. Very informative. Thanks, David."
Right, I can answer this question.
Yeah.
With Dr. Nick, and I assume they don't want to show their hand at the track. They don't want people to know what they're betting. I think they do a lot of big betting on best tote, and I think I think that's the way they handle it. I know with the Asian exchange, a lot of it's done on the totes. So if you're betting on track and you're taking $10 and you firm it into $7.50 or $6.50, and you're only on, like Wednesdays to win 3,000, you might get in with 4 bookies, you're only getting on to win 12,000, but you're telling the marketplace this isn't a 10s chance, it's a 650 chance. So what then happens to the totes? Well, the totes that maybe we're going to pay $10.80 and now going to pay $7.20, because when you adjust the SP, you adjust the tote. And I think they're getting so much money on at best tote and on overseas on totes with their money. Let's say they're getting 20, 30 or 40,000 and it stays at $10.80. There's no point betting on track.
So you mentioned best tote. Does that mean they're betting with bookies on a best tote product, or they're actually putting the money on the tote?
I don't know what they're doing.
No, because you can't get that much on the tote without affecting the price.
No, but if you're betting best tote with a bookie, the bookie...
Isn't this Asian exchange?
He's getting the information.
Isn't this Asian
I think
exchange?
it's the Asian exchange, yeah.
Aren't they paying on best tote dividend?
Okay.
So if they're betting on Best Overton, you're getting 40,000 on with Mr. Zhang, who wants to lay number
What's it called,
5.
the Hong Kong Exchange? It's
I don't know.
called,
I don't know much about it. I'm very ignorant, and because I'm so, you know what I'm like. Like I still got a Nokia phone from 1981 because I'm so fucked up with trying to learn and broadening my mind. I should know all about the Asian Exchange. I don't even know how to look it up, which is very poor. Every person I know that's got plenty of money in race at the moment is involved with the Asian Exchange.
Okay.
I don't know where it is.
All right. Well,
I know it's in Asia.
we might get a bit more information from our viewers.
Yeah, great.
Dave Potter, who's always been a good friend of Punter's Show and has clearly come across to the rant with some enthusiasm. He was the Spurs man, you remember?
Okay. I read this email and I'm going to make some phone calls for you, Dave, because this doesn't sound right.
So, do you want to go through the gist of the email or do you want to read it out? What do you want to do?
Well, I'll just quickly read it out because it's a good email. Hi, fellas. I sent Glenn an email a couple of weeks ago regarding a bet I had with LuxBet that they reneged on, said they'd made a mistake and cancelled the bet when I realised I had overs on a horse. Except to say, I no longer have an account with LuxBet. I won't go into details on that bet, but I have another tale of woe from corporate bookies. This time Bet365. Now, Bet365, I've always given a big tick to on the show, and I still stand by the fact that they're the best corporate. Last Monday, when the noms were taken for the Chelmsman, I had a few bets. I was amazed that the bookies were offering a quarter of the odds for a place. So with 3 different bookies, I backed See the Stars, Spirit Jim, and Who Shot the Barman each way. With the rain, so he's backed 3 horses in a race coming up, and the quarter of the odds of places enticement. With the rain coming, my hope was that neither Winks and or Hartnell would start on a bog, and the overs would be great, especially with the place, which makes sense to me. Spirit Jam was scratched, and I lost my money. No complaints, because he's bet all in here. This is prior to this, you know. So he had his money on Spirit. He got scratched. I know the rules. However, Storm the Stars ran third. 2 bookies paid out without a hitch, but Bet365. Remember, they kept the Spirit Jam money. So they said they didn't refund the money, so it's all in betting. Said no third dividend because there was only 6 starters. How can they change the rules on a winning bet to final field rules but give no refund for the scratching of Spirit Jim as it was all in rules? They were both placed at the same time on Monday afternoon, 2 days before acceptances. Fair income and makes you want to give up the punt, and things like this do sour you. After getting on the phone for a good 30 minutes, mostly on hold, they mucked around with him, according to Dave here. He was told that they were correct in not paying a third dividend, which I don't know if it's...
If you take the money on the scratching, you have to pay out.
Yeah.
That's
that's his beef. He's saying, look, they played by these rules to take the money on the scratching, and then they played by a different set of rules to say there was no third dividend.
If that's what's happened, I would say, knowing Bet365, there's a junior in there looking at this, and I'd say that, Dave, you'll be getting your money for third. I can't imagine Bet365. They play by the rules more than anybody.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So
they're my number 1 corporate, and I hope this will be... Dave, I'll make some phone calls today for you, and we'll try and get this worked out, because what they did offer him was a bit, as a gesture of goodwill, they offered him a free bet or something, they offered me a bonus bet. Well, you are right, that does feel icky and awful, and if what you say is right, Dave, you'll get paid. If there's a bit more to the story, I can't guarantee that, but I know one thing about Bet365, they're the only place I like being involved with when it comes to corporate betting. The rest, leave me cold.
yeah, although Tab, I must say Tab is as good as seems good as gold as far as fixed odds betting goes.
No, not if you're a cash punter at the window, they're not.
No, I guess not.
I go to Wyong, I go to places all the time. I'm 600 on this at 650. You can have you can't have that much. You can have $42.
Certainly, I think Glenn is right. One of the best experiences I've had have been with Bet365, and
What's an easy site to read? You log on, there it is. I mean, I don't bet there anymore because I can't get on. But that's
why is the tab immune to the 2000 rule?
it shouldn't be immune to the 2000 rule. Well, is it immune?
Well, I don't know. I don't bet with the tab, but
well, talking about the
you
tab,
just mentioned that bet. They'd knock you down to $42. Well,
because there's only $42 left. They say that there was.
Oh, okay.
So they allocated
they're
a certain amount of money.
bets
Yeah.
to come up with their 2000.
Yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Well, that's completely taking the piss out of the rule.
Often they don't even say that. Like you can say 400 on it to make it 200, make it 100, make it 50, and it goes no. So you were saying they're great to bet with, aren't you? Well, they're
I
okay.
found them recently quite solid to bet with, but
I mean, as
but
far as
I did have all those issues.
Tom's joint goes, every person that's barred there, you log on and the prices, every price changes. Now, how's that even legal? And then we've got Volantis saying that Tom's the most innovative person in racing.
Well, that is innovative. Change the prices in front of you.
Well, yeah, it doesn't seem right. It's certainly not fair, and quite disgusting. How would you be a part of that? Tom's a very rich man. How would he be involved with that? Yeah.
Well, they would see it as being the thing to do is a rule comes in. How can we get around this?
Yeah. Okay. Great. You know.
Right.
How do you put your head in your pillow when you fall asleep? Just quickly, David. The tab. I'm at the. I wasn't at the footy. I wasn't at the footy yesterday. I was at the pub the night before all of it. How does the tab let you bet in play if we can't bet in play at home on a computer?
Oh, because it's like you can bet in play if you ring up. You just can't do it over the internet.
So why can you do it on the machines at the tab? Isn't that through the internet?
That's direct contact.
But the bet goes through the internet.
Right. You're onto another thing.
I mean, that's semantics.
So I can't use my computer because it's the internet, but I can be at the pub.
Use a tab
there can be a
machine.
tab machine, which is a computer.
That tab machine is just like putting on a bet with a person.
No, it's not. It's a machine. And that bet goes through the internet.
You're onto something here.
Well, how does that work?
Where's
No,
Nick
I think it's
Xenophon
fine.
when you need him?
No, I'm not saying the tab shouldn't be allowed to do that. I'm saying I should be on the fair and allowed to bet in play. It's the same rule. I'm not allowed to bet on the fair in play on sport.
I'm just saying that the tab machine
Is a person now.
is not the internet. It's like a person.
Well, once it gets a little fucking anus and starts shitting and needs to wipe its ass, I'll agree with you. But in the meantime, I believe it's betting through the internet.
Okay.
Fucking hell, I wasn't all G'd up before the show. Now I'm screaming.
That's good.
That's right. He's going to scream out of here and harass some corporates. On the Wednesday show, the midweek preview show, which Glenn managed to turn up to last week.
That seemed unkind.
I
won't be there
say that
tomorrow.
because he won't be there tomorrow.
Kemble's
because-
on. People out there will know. You'll know what show I'm on.
Yeah, exactly. Because if there's Tuesday,
Friday at 1,
if
I'm
there's
not doing a
Tues-
Saturday show.
That's right. If there's Tuesday racing, Glenn won't be there. If there's Friday racing, Glenn won't be there.
But otherwise, I'll be both.
So,
Weeks I'll be both.
so whatever you were wearing last Tuesday, Glenn, Wal G, good man, Viscous.
Good man.
Mark, tell Glenn the 80s called. They want their golf clothes back.
What was I wearing? I don't fucking know.
It's got to be the red shirt, doesn't it? That seems the one to get the most comments. So.
I like that shirt.
So do I. Yeah.
So then Tom Gilmore tweeted back, there's a little bit of Judge Smales from Caddyshack about Glenn in that ensemble.
Now, I really hate Judge Smales, so I take a real lot of offence to this because I love Caddyshack. I watched it again the other night, and Judge Smales is the least person I am like in the whole world. How could you say there's a little bit of Judge Smales to me? Dead set Tom Gilmore, one of the worst insults I've ever got. I'm a bit heartbroken by that.
Daniel emailed in, hi gents, I'm absolutely enjoying the show. I find how the three of you interpret races very interesting. I like the fact that you're not robotic in finding your edges, and I find it to be quite an education, positive learning experience. It's good to see people have differing opinions rather than being yes men and just agreeing with others. I liked your shows previously, but I think there's so much more substance now than ever before. Glenn, to my eye, has found his zest for racing again. Is that true?
I just love racing. I never listen, so when I'm completely gone, walking off and you can't pay it and just don't know how I'm going to eat, I just think, fuck, I can't wait to get back to races tomorrow.
It is. It does offer you that that ability to get on with life because the races are always on. Gordo is a refreshing addition.
There you go, Gordon.
Well, thanks.
That's a bit of a fucking Daniel. This is a bit of a fucking very nice to us. So I get
very
embarrassed
nice,
reading these. He enjoys the rant and doesn't have a lot of time to do the form, so he finds our industry insights extremely helpful. Good on you, Daniel. Cheers.
Luke emailed after last week's show where we had a bit of a discussion about Chris Lees and his placement of stayers, and interestingly, he won the Wyong Cup, of course.
Yeah, the midnight.
Go, Robert.
Go, Rob. What about that hole as a Wyong? Fair dinkum punters. Like, I was the only one that fucking yelled out, what a fucking daily double. Jim Cassidy, special guest, handing the trophy to Robert Thompson. There's the fucking daily double for you. Hey?
So talk to me about that meeting going ahead in relation to other meetings not going ahead. It was all good, was it?
No, it was very, very wet. They did do a track inspection. There was a lot of talk that they had problems pulling up the horses past the winning post, but as you know, and there was the 6 previous races were all under 1350 metres, basically. So there was just going to be the 2 races where they had to go over the crossing, and I think the boys hung out to run the cup, and then if you're going to hang out to run the cup, it's a bit embarrassing to call it off with 1 to go. So we got through the meeting. Full credit to the boys anyway, because it was a wet and it was dingy, and there was a big crowd there for a wet day.
Right.
Okay. It's a big day for Wyong. I think the any normal meeting, I think that would have been called off.
So there was feature race rules in play.
And I think also a bit of loyalty to the club. You know, like the jockeys know that these clubs are battling, they need these clubs to go ahead. Everybody needs everybody in racing, but the most important people in racing, without doubt, are punters.
I just want consistency.
Well, you're not going to get it, Gordon.
You're not going to get it. No, if it's a shit pot meeting and the few of the jocks who've got a couple of girlfriends on the time and time they can pop into on the way home, they're going to go that way.
Bit of Tinder action.
Bit of jocks love a bit of Tinder.
Anyway, Luke emailed in saying, "Hi Mark, I listened with interest to Glenn's comments about Chris Lees, and does he or trainers in general think that far ahead? I can tell you from experience that Chris has plan A and plan B for every one of his horses written down, whether it be a last start city winner or a 20 start maiden.
And that doesn't surprise me at all.
Other trainers I've had them with wouldn't know which day it was, let alone have a plan for their horse. DK Weir has a rough plan also. Loving the new show without a few of the old heads that used to dictate on the punters show, and so on and so on. So it's interesting that we've actually got some insight from a client of the Lees stable.
And I'm not sure. I'm not surprised at all that Chris would be like that. But my comment was more general, you you just find a race, chuck them in. They go round and round. What's the difference?
But he's actually saying that he's got he's got 2 plans for each of his horses.
Yeah. Well, he's a country trainer, Chris, so he's got to work within the boundaries of the riders he puts on to make sure they stick to the plan too. That also can be tricky. Sometimes riders down the bush have their own plan.
I'm sure the Waterhouse stable would have everything mapped out too.
I'm sure they do too.
Yeah, and Waller would have to.
I'm sure he does too. There's lots of other trainers besides the big 2 and Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess the old-fashioned way was, they were just like the Beat Murray way. Let's have a look what's in the calendar.
Yeah.
Let's won a race, and they get interviewed after the race. Oh yeah, we'll just go home and have a look at the calendar tonight.
Have a look at the calendar. And I can't make that. Can you mention me?
We were all a bit nostalgic about the old ways.
Very. Yeah. And the people that have made the most amount of money in the last 10 or 20 years in Australia are the people that can think the modern way. I mean, you had the old real estate agent, along came John McGrath. Now he's got the whole lot. You had the old fucking dopey punters walk along, and fucking along came Steve Fletcher Kingsley, and it just people got.
We live in a Pac-Man society.
We do a little bit, yeah. It's good. What's the next thing? There's a stack of things that changed. The building houses. You build houses. The other day it used to be labourers and chop the wood. Now everything's pre-packed, and the frames turn up. Click, 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 click. The joint's up in 2 days.
Burger takeaway joints gone. McDonald's now.
Brothels used to be like a criminal to go to a brothel. Now they're fucking on every second corner, and every person from Church of England now's got investments in it. Yeah, world got modern.
It sure did. It's very glamorous, and I think if we were able to go back 10 or 15 years, we'd be surprised at how incredibly glamorous this world is. Schmick. It's schmicked up.
You can have a friend living in New York, and you can meet them for dinner on a Monday night, leave Sunday morning, have dinner, catch up, couple of lunches, and be home by the end of the week, and it costs you $1,450 return.
The dinner will probably cost you more than that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can stay in Sydney and get on the piss 3 nights, and next thing you go, where's that $1,450 out of my pocket? The world's smaller and it's more dynamic.
It's more dynamic? It's very streamlined.
It's more dynamic. The old days, men used to whittle on a bit of stick. Now they can go and root 3 shillers in one night. The world's more dynamic.
It does talk a lot about, having someone on the time and tide and
it's always more than 2 as well for some reason. I don't know why that's a magic number.
I'll give you the example, right? I watched American Pie the other day. Did I tell you this story?
Again. You watch it again?
Did I tell you this story on the show last week?
I don't know. Maybe you didn't mention it on the show.
About whenever you meet...
Oh, yeah.
You did.
Yeah, you did. You're a virgin.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Laurie emailed saying, question for Gordo. The win of Super Maxi at Canterbury Wednesday, I think, contravened one of his rules about Melbourne horses having first start in Sydney. Can you elaborate again on those rules?
I'm not interested. They have a very poor wind strike rate. Obviously I lost on the race. But then we did mention earlier on in the show that there's a couple of stables that can be pretty dangerous when they do that, and that's the Hawk
I
stable.
think Gordo also uses it because, like all punters, Gordo, you've got a little touch of laziness about you in life, and I think that's very normal for a person who wants to gamble. And you see Melbourne, you go, boom, I'm putting the pen through it.
Yeah, that makes one less horse.
One less, I don't even, boom. And then when that horse does get up and win, what happens to you? Well, you have a losing race.
Look, I'd sort of
not
suggest
that bad a thing,
in
is
the
it?
price range Super Maxi was at, you've got to have a second look at it just because of its price. But when something's running around at $2.50, $3, then
You go pen.
Snoopy.
Then pen.
Snoopy.
Pen. I'm looking for something else because the fact that that's taking up such a percentage of the market means that there's value elsewhere. So
In your experience.
yeah,
So just an opinion.
that's an opinion, but it seems
Why-
to be working reasonably well. So
Mark Wall might want to thank you, send you $33 for that opinion. Thank you, Mark. Where was that? Where did you read that?
Yeah.
Top one. I've never seen it.
I love your show and congrats on the new format. Just wondering if you'd like be able to allocate 5 minutes on one of your upcoming shows to discuss various signs that point to a horse really trying to win a race, from the obvious things like blinkers on and short backups to other more subtle things. Would love to hear what Glenn, Gordon, and yourself think. Cheers, Jake.
Go on, Mark. You'll go with this sort of answer. Mine's money around the parade, so I can't tell him what I think. Well,
I can say, like, pretty much Mark's covered nearly every positive pearl possible over the last 5 or 6 years. That'll be about right. But what you're actually looking for is he might mention one pearl, or I might mention one pearl, but the thing is, it's a combination of pearls. So we'll say this is a positive sign, but it's got to be linked to 2 or 3 other positive signs and also missing out on some of the key negatives. So it's like a combination of all that information Mark's given you, put to a horse, and then you've got a particular rating. If you've got a certain number of positives and maybe only one negative, maybe you can forgive the negative. So when people actually say, oh well, that didn't work, it's in combination with a multiple number of variables. So no single variable is going to get you into profit. It's got to be a combination of
and
variables.
I find also, using all those points, that the races I have the most success in is when I can nominate something that's hard in the market, whether it be a favourite or a second favourite, third favourite, that has like negative, and I can dismiss its chances. So all of a sudden I'm betting into 110% or 105%, but I'm saying, look at that 32%, look at that 41%, look at that 15%. That's none. And so the bigger that inch is there, the more success I have.
That's a very, very good suggestion, Glenn, because what you're saying is that there's a horse that's in that position more by default than by a convergence of positive factors.
It was very easy for me to put felines on top in that last race and send out I'm unloading each way, because there was a $4 chance in the race that I just completely dismissed the second favourite, and I wasn't sure about Japonisme, but the $4 chance, that was dead and buried. Not dead and buried, I shouldn't say dead. It was buried, to me, in my opinion. And that made my confidence level raise and my profit level raise. So looking for not only lots of ticks and lots of positive that you're looking for, but looking for really something juicy to say legless. It's like, the club, right? Fat Sheila, super ugly. You know you're not going to go there. Pretty good, outstanding. You're going to head straight to pretty good.
Isn't there an argument to be made to approach the ugly one so that
That's when you're
good-looking
blind and
one-
you've got the lights off.
No, so
and
the
you put-
good-looking one thinks you're a nice guy.
Oh,
And then-
the old dummy switch.
King of Gordo, king of the manipulation.
What a nice fella I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you get left with her?
Oh, then just go with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no,
why
I'd knock back. I'd get home and say, oh no, not on the first date. Anyway.
So David emailed in to say that he'd shown you the Friday preview cushions at Wild. He'd actually said, wow,
Oh,
look
yeah.
at this, Glenn.
Yeah,
Can
he
you
did,
believe
yeah.
these
Yeah, he
cushions
did,
are on this show?
He did. David loves all this sort of stuff.
He sure does. Blake said, question for the rant. I largely struggle with my pricing of each runner, which then leads to poor staking. Any tips, tricks or hints to provide to try and improve coming to the bigger spring races? Keep up the good work.
Well, Blake, if you struggle to price each runner, if you really can't find a price, maybe the game's not for you, because, you've got to be able to work out an assessment of each horse's chances. And if you've got like the 66 to 1 chance 3 to 1, and you've got the 3 to 1 chance 66s, you're in for an awful run.
I think you can just concentrate on the ones in the sharp end of the market.
That's not a bad tip.
So maybe there's 4 or 5 chances in the race. get really close to 100% with those and forget about the rest. Because it's a lot harder to price the things outside the market.
Also, when you do forget about the rest and one of them happens to lob, all I always say to people, well, you're going to have a losing race.
Yeah.
Buckle up, because if you want to be a player, you're going to have thousands of losing races. And they're sometimes just as tantalising as the winning races. You get to really give it to yourself. You fucking idiot, Glenn. You often see me say that at the track.
Oh, quite often, yeah.
Look, I think it's quite helpful if you just have a little tree or a little structure to pin them on. So you find a horse that's a really good chance, it's a very strong chance. You might look at, say, 33% for that horse. And then you order them accordingly. So good chance will be 16%. You're working in those fractions. So 33%, 16%. 8.5% or 8%.
When I first started doing the form, it's funny how you said good chance. And when I first started doing the form, I didn't price. I used to rate them in like that. GC, I put in GC, it was a good chance. Then I put a C for a chance.
Yep.
Then I put a half chance.
Yep.
And then I'd have 3 bad ratings. I'd write PNO, which is probably no. Then I'd have no, and then I'd have none. None was none. No was not no. Probably no, what I'm saying is this horse got something but it's first up, and probably no. And then I just have those 3 other ratings, and that really helped me structure my thoughts.
And you have a price you're willing to take on those particular.
Well, I'm not going to be taking 7 to 2 something I think's a half chance.
Yeah, so you're saying 33% for your GC, 16% for your C, and 8% for your
That type
your
of
half a
range,
chance,
yeah.
and then 4 and 2 and 0,
0 is
1
0.
and 0, whatever.
Yeah.
So just put those numbers down beside your horses, and then tally them up and see where you're coming at in terms of your 100% market. I'd fiddle with them according to that structure. It's a basic structure, and it'll work for you, I think.
Good on you. From Brian here, impressive set of selections from Melbourne Mick. Melbourne Mick, it wasn't just impressive Saturday, it's been impressive for 4 or 5 weeks now. And
It's so focused, like
so
you've
seen,
so zoned in on the chances.
200
wasn't
of
he?
you got the free set there, or whatever it was, and you've seen how it's like an encyclopedia of information. Unfortunately for Brian, and I get this, that my betting bank is like $50 or $60, so he really can't afford to get involved, which I makes sense too. So all I can say to you, Brian, is if you get 3 or 4 mates together and you all put in $10 something, or you work it out some sort of way, or we are trying to work out future down the line better structures for all our products, and maybe a rate that's a bit cheaper, because we want to see people wagering, and we also want to be able to afford.
At the same time, we want to say, well, actually, this is a very valuable thing, and you just can't give it away for.
It's hard to give it away. It's hard to give it away.
You just don't want to put a price on it that says this is worthless. This is not worth much, when it is worth so much.
From Glenn G here, it's outstanding work again, Gordo. Absolutely clueless this egg. He's given it to you.
This is bad, Glenn,
This is all in capitals
bad,
as well.
Glenn.
Is he
He's
yelling?
yelling,
He's yelling at me.
Absolutely clueless. Doudston Charlie cannot win. La Ramon, absolute moral. No, Japanese moral. He's typical. So he's badger. Well, all I can say to you, Glenn G, look, it's a game of opinions, and obviously no one's going to be right all the time. And if Gordo, I wasn't here, he got a few wrong, then it's easy for you, Glenn G. Don't watch.
Look, I got a few wrong, but seriously, the prices that were on offer, they all traded shorter. So,
and then
the market agreed with me to a certain extent, and it was a poor day, and I lost, and I've got to cop it on the chin. But thank you for the capital letters.
Proform sent the thing about a great set from Mick, but he was bagging the each way component of it, saying that people that bet each way, they can't win, and Danny Jackson's the only place punter he knows that makes a profit at his pillars. Well,
Danny and Crow, they've got a running battle on Twitter. They just they at each other all the time. Look, I think one of the cleverest punters I have come across on the track made a virtue out of backing 5 to 2 chances each way. It's this idea that you can't back horses shorter than 4 to 1 each way is just crap.
My word. And to think sometimes you can just only back them a place these days is just.
Well, you get something back if they come a place, and when they lob every once in a while, that's
it's not about getting your money back. It's about being a smart bet.
Yeah. Nothing better than a smart bet. Asked my little second son there yesterday. 42 they won by. Little bugger. How do you pick that?
42. Gets over the line by 1 point.
Thanks for watching the RANT again this week, guys. Boys will be doing the preview show tomorrow. I'll be at Kembla, and I'll be back on board for the preview show on Friday. Have a successful punting week, Mark.
Indeed. We look forward to providing you with a lot more this week and in coming weeks. It's spring has sprung and we're champing at the bit.
All right. See you, Gordo.
See you guys.
You say goodbye to Mark Wool?
See you, Mark.
All right, there you go.
Good training performance, Kim.
Lots of good training performance, wasn't it?